Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of What's the Scoop. This week we are diving into the Billie Eilish discourse that seems to always make it cycle around the internet, but this week it seems like it's hit a new low for her as the internet is pulling up old videos of her, old tweets, and nitpicking everything that she has done. So let's get into it. This discourse started when Elle posted on their YouTube channel a video of Billie answering a bunch of questions. And when she was asked, "What's your hot take?" this was her response.
Y'all not gonna like me for this one. Eating meat is inherently wrong. And then the other thing is, two things cannot coincide. I love animals. I love all animals so much, and I eat meat. You can't do both. Sorry. You can eat meat. Go for it. You can love animals, but you can't do both.
As you can imagine, the internet did not love that response by her. People were posting a bunch of old clips of her, specifically this one.
You know, the people that are always like, I'm a vegan, in everyone's face. It's like, you're the reason people don't like vegans. I'm vegan. I'm not like out here like, don't eat that because like shit. Yeah.
TikTok was coming for her, saying, "You said this back then, and now it feels like you're judging us for eating meat," which is basically what she did in that video. After the backlash that Billie got on the Elle video, she takes it to her Instagram stories and she posted a series of videos that were very graphic, and I'm not going to be showing it, but it shows the mistreatment of animals before they get turned into food. And one of them was this pig, and the pig was getting kicked. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was very uncomfortable. People were saying that she should not have posted those videos. It was really uncomfortable, it was gory, and it was very graphic. There was no trigger warning. She just posted it out of nowhere. And then afterwards, she posted a black screen story, and this is what she had to say. "Go watch a documentary or two and some footage of what is done to the animals you claim to love and what it does to the planet you pretend to love as well. If that footage was hard for you to watch, I encourage you to please take a look at yourself. Like, I am so tired of standing up for / having empathy for living beings being controversial. Please continue to live in a constant state of cognitive dissonance and denial and try to convince yourself that you're not living a lie. Moi." After this rant that she goes on her Instagram story, people on TikTok and Twitter brought up more of her hypocritical stances on certain topics.
All right, rapid fire round. You ready? You can't be the party of human rights and support abortion. You can't hate the police and call them when you need them. You can't push for the ban on guns and then have a security team full of them. Can't demand wide open borders and lock your own doors at night. You can't champion women's rights and erase women's sports and private spaces. You can't preach tolerance and cancel everyone who disagrees. You can't fight for equality and demand special treatment based on race and identity. You can't scream "my body, my choice" and then force vaccines and masks on everyone. Can't be anti-fascist while using fascist tactics to silence dissent. You can't preach body positivity and promote surgeries that mutilate healthy body parts. You can't say you hate the rich and then charge $500 for concert tickets and merch. You see where this is going, Billie? The two cannot coincide.
I saw this tweet where someone said, "I'm crying. Billie Eilish did a get ready with me, and almost every single makeup brand she uses tests on animals." Then I started seeing these videos where people were going back on all the times Billie did her makeup, and they looked up each brand she used to see which brands were cruelty-free and which ones were not.
I love animals. I love all animals so much, and I eat meat. You can't do both. Sorry.
I did see on Reddit that there were some people who actually agreed with Billie, and someone said, People are mad because for the most part she's right. Outside of indigenous or religious practices, most people are completely removed from how their food is processed and slaughtered. We're also living in the middle of an affordability crisis, and people have to eat what they can easily get their hands on. And for the record, yes, I do eat meat, so I'm part of the problem. People just don't like rich people high-roading us, which is completely understandable. She needs to take this up with all of her wealthy friends, not us regular folks. After the discourse I saw this week, I decided to do a bit of a deep dive on all of this. I saw someone mentioning that Billie was on Chicken Shop Date, and I actually totally forgot she did that. I went back and watched it, and they made it a point to mention right away that Amelia prepared vegan nuggets for Billie. When Billie went on Chicken Shop Date, she was promoting Hit Me Hard and Soft, and this was back in 2024. Also, part of her press tour for the launch of Hit Me Hard and Soft, she went on Hot Ones with her brother Phineas. I also went back and found that Billie was on Hot Ones already back in 2017. I find it very interesting that someone who has such a strong stance on being vegan and saying, you should not eat animals if you love animals, and also saying with her whole chest that it is inherently wrong to eat animals. Someone who is saying all this, going on these shows where the premise is eating meat to promote her projects or her perfume or whatever she has coming out, that is extremely hypocritical to me. Like, this is very interesting. This is different than if she were going out with a group of friends and they all eat meat and she's the only one who doesn't. That's different. Going on these type of shows, there is PR that comes with it. You're making money off of it. These type of shows give you exposure. These are two of the biggest interview shows for anyone doing press. One of the biggest discourse about her, even before this whole vegan discourse, is her implying that she is anti-capitalism. Back in 2025, the Wall Street Journal had an Innovator Awards ceremony, and she was one out of maybe 8 people who were being celebrated. She goes on stage and calls out billionaires and say she doesn't understand how they're rich and that they need to donate their money.
Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Now, before I get into the public's reaction to this, I want to mention that at this awards ceremony, it was announced that she donated $11.5 million of her proceeds from her most recent tour, so she herself has donated money. Now, the issue with what she said has nothing to do with donating money. It's the fact that she called out the billionaires and her saying, "How are you rich? Why are you rich?" Basically implying that she hates rich and greedy people. Recently, her 3D concert tour movie was released for her Hit Me Hard and Soft tour. And guess who directed that movie? James Cameron. James Cameron has directed Titanic and the Avatar movie series. James Cameron is also a billionaire. According to Forbes, James Cameron is now worth $1.1 billion. Billie Eilish said with her whole chest that she is against billionaires and how greedy they are, and then turns around, has this billionaire director make her movie, which will then be shown in theaters for profit. This movie is not free. She's still making money off of this movie working with a billionaire. So I'm very confused on this choice. If she was going to go on stage and say this, she should have hired a director who's not a billionaire, or she could have released this movie free online instead of conforming to capitalism, which she claims she's against. Another instance of Billie being found hypocritical to this anti-billionaire, anti-capitalism agenda is back in 2021, she released the music video for Lost Cause, and in that music video, she was spotted wearing these neutral colored clothes, and Kim Kardashian actually posted a clip of Billie in this video and captioned it, "I spy Skims," and Billie reposted it, confirming she was wearing Skims. Kim Kardashian, obviously, everyone knows, is a very successful businesswoman. She is an unethical billionaire. It's very interesting that Billie would give Kim Kardashian promo like this. So when Billie gets up on that stage and says she doesn't know how billionaires are rich, well, you are part of the problem. You gave Kim Kardashian promo for her brand that is very successful already, and she is also a billionaire. So I don't understand why Billie went up there and said this. One of the statements she has made that had Swifties coming for her was when she criticized musicians for releasing multiple vinyl variants. She says, "I can't even express how wasteful it is." And this was in 2024. In the article where she was interviewed, she said, "It was irritating that certain musicians care that much about your numbers and you care that much about making money." When she first had this interview go live, the Swifties were coming at her saying, "Are you shading Taylor? Because you also do the same thing." So they brought up that Billie had 8 vinyl variants for Happier Than Ever. And they were just saying, "You're saying that it's greedy to release that many vinyl variants and you ended up doing the same thing." Back in March of last year, Billboard has now changed their rules and only 4 digital D2C exclusive versions will be allowed for the life of an album. And this includes the deluxe versions. So I'm wondering, not just with Billie, but other artists, once this rule change was implemented, if artists have started only having 4 variants instead of, 10, 12, 15. A few years ago, Billie was in this video with a climate activism group to just talk about the environment and why they're passionate about making a change. This video seems empowering at first, but then Billie was on her Instagram story and she reposted this AI photo of what she would look like as a man and then proceeds to post this infographic on why AI is bad for the planet. I'm just not sure what's happening here, what's going through her head. Like, why does she say one thing and then turns around and does something that goes completely against what she claims to stand on? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye!